long ago, a prestigious wizardry academy performed research in the enhancement of alchemy with the manipulation of ether to its vital and unstable nature. It was only a matter of time before a tragedy happened. The day every wizard and alchemist was decimated, left nothing but bones and rubble in the empty hovels of Rathe. In the epicenter of the explosion, a young man heard a call from beyond. He offered knowledge to bring back those who trusted him and atone for his mistake. And he tried to do so on his own terms, his way, year after year, until nothing else mattered, until those bones can finally be whole again.
I really think this is a good hook for the start of an epic adventure. You know, sending heroes to pursue what happens at an apparently abandoned tower that was once a landmark in its region, but is now part of a desolated land in which people seems to disappear when traveling through it. And if you enjoy things like that, just like me, it might be interesting playing through something like this, using the combat mechanics from Flesh and Blood. And, well, I'm aware there are already many awesome player versus environment modules available out there, focused on awesome boss battles and great co-op modes. Honestly, I think they are beautiful and creative works, but I have something new and slightly different. The Rathe Adventures, different to the other unofficial modules available right now, offers a hybrid of dungeon crawler and an arch enemy gameplay. The game requires that a group of young heroes, usually 3, face the dangers of a villain and their lair. Once the group adventurers decide on their blitz decks, the game can start by revealing the very first dungeon card, the Ace, which gives a short description of the chamber the heroes encounter themselves in, and what everyone can expect from this point on. It also gives 3 options, 3 paths to be taken. Once one path is chosen, another card is revealed from the dungeon deck. And placed on the table. Whenever a new card is revealed, they will generate an encounter, and to advance to the next room, the adventurers must finish it first. An encounter might be a battle or a challenge. The challenges can be solved by the use of an attack action, a non-attack action, or even an intelligence check that adds a dice roll to your intelligence score. In every encounter, the adventurers play after the dungeon or the villain, but will not redraw after this first turn, so block wisely. Additionally, the game state, such as life totals, allies invoked, items played, hours created, are all preserved from one encounter to the next, unless the players decide to take a rest. Because, you see, there are many cards in the dungeon deck, and the adventurers should play with them until they reach a point in which they find themselves facing 2 bosses of the dungeon before getting to our villain. And some of these battles, some of these encounters can be really tough. So resting is highly recommended. And these rests can be taken either as a short or long rest. In a short rest, the adventurers shuffle their hands, graveyard, except for equipment present in the graveyard, items and auras play into their deck, and then redraw for the turn. They gain the opportunity to use their inventory for equipment swaps, and they also heal 5 life points. Notice that I'm saying healing life points, not gaining life points, which means that by healing, a hero cannot have a life higher than its original amount. But you can still gain life and have a higher value. In a long rest, the banished zones also shuffle back into your deck, and any other auras or afflictions are destroyed. And instead of 5 life, each hero can heal 15 life points. In addition to this, all allies that are invoked are destroyed during either a short or long rest. And if it gets to a point in which your players are very powerful, very experienced, the dungeon might start feel underwhelming for your sessions. So you may try using 1, 2, or maybe all of the challenge cards. These challenge cards modify a few rulings on how to deal with the threats. It might add on-hit effects to the dungeon allies, or even include debuffs to the heroes. And to get a good experience out of all that, a few rulings from the Flesh and Blood multiplayer gameplay were slightly changed so that co-op might be more enjoyable. The first and most critical change is that any card that specifies a target hero or triggers when it hits or deals damage to a hero can also be triggered on target allies during the exploration phase. Not only that, but during the final encounter against the villain, they will be treated as if they were heroes, although they're villains. Defense reactions may be played to defend against any attack that targets a hero. So if a villain or any of their ally targets an adventurer, any other adventurer may play a defense reaction to help. This makes Guardians the tanks of the group, having access to more defense reaction than any other classes, but it also does not exclude the opportunity of other defensive classes to shine. Maybe you want to build tanky mechanologists that can help their allies while setting up their items. And likewise, attack reactions may be played to add effects over any attack. If an adventurer has an attack action, any other hero may play an attack reaction to help. And this is one of the most cool modifications because it can bring out some new archetypes to the game, such as a Bolton that focus more on attack reactions to support his allies instead of himself, and leave the fantasy of being a paladin of the group. If an adventurer gets to 0 health, they are not dead yet. They are unconscious and cannot play cards or activate abilities, but they can return to battle if they gain life. Otherwise, they stay like that until the encounter is over and the other adventurers agree to take a rest. Lastly, the most important of all, these rules are more what you call guidelines. Remember that this is your game session and everyone should be having fun. And that's it. Thank you for checking out this unofficial PvE adventure for Flesh and Blood. I'm looking forward to releasing many more chapters besides the Necro Nightmare. You guys should have a lot of fun playing against Abnar the Necromancer.